waiting.
So I'm going to talk about what one of my subscribers here on the channel said. Office Icarus LLC is the name of the subscriber. That's what he calls himself. And on my video about the RICO lawsuit, he basically says at 322, which is the timestamp, correctamundo, current extension ends in 2024. Contracts are almost never renewed out of an extension, just bad etiquette, communicating lack of faith with incumbent executive. Iger will almost certainly lame duck Kennedy until current extension lapses or strikes resolve, being most economical, at least sensational, route for them crossed out him. I'm going to go through this piece by piece. I did not realize this. Us laymen out there that aren't experienced in stuff like this would assume an extension and a renewal were the same thing, but they're not. Okay, so when you hear the big channels compare the two as the same, they're not. Her contract was extended, and I believe it was extended back in 2018 too. So she's under the contract that she signed. When was the last time she in 2015, I think. So this says to me that they have not had a lot of faith in her in years. Okay, since 2018, which makes me right here. And again, this does not circumvent any efforts to remove her now, which is what I believe they're doing, and to basically get her out and away from Lucasfilm, but cut her off entirely. Okay, so he goes on, Office Icarus goes on. KK contract was never re-upped, in parentheses late 2021 when it was last lapsed. She's currently on contract extension, typically negotiated whenever changing regimes necessitates exception. Like Kennedy agreed to co-navigate whatever sensitive, important projects currently in development production with their potential successors. Jon Favreau. Otherwise, if those projects failed massively during the pre-authorized transition of power at LF, Disney Board would panic over another stockholder lawsuit or just being held accountable. All right, so, and that's where I'm going to stop for a second. When they brought Jon Favreau in, and then in 2021 or 2022, it became apparent that Favreau and Filoni were basically doing the streaming, effectively cutting Kennedy off of a lot of stuff Lucasfilm does. And this is where you get, and actually, no, when they announced all those shows at D23, was it in 2019, 2020? You had Lando, you had Rangers of the New Republic, you had Ahsoka, you had the Akafart, the Trasholite, and others. And the only ones out of just the ones I mentioned, the Acolyte's the only one, or the Ahsoka, not the Acolyte. Ahsoka's the only one that's getting made. Okay. And then we run into the Leslie Headland issue with the lawyers. Now, this is interesting to me because now it looks, again, that Iger was necessarily trying to figure out how to get her out of there. And by removing her from streaming, and then now Matt Bellamy in that Atlantic article that came out in 2021 after Gina Carano was let go, it looks like she lost the movies too. And she doesn't, I don't think, because she's under a contract where as long as she doesn't do anything illegal, she can't be fired. She felt it necessary to meddle with Boba Fett, which she did because John wasn't on the set for most of it. She meddled with Kenobi, but not as much as people think. And of course, she meddled with season 3 of The Mandalorian because of what she was doing with Boba Fett.
How rude. Oh, she's horrible. I've made a ghastly, ghastly mistake.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
And because she was so blatant and disrespectful to Bob Iger on July 3rd, I can see where he finally said, we need to figure out how to get rid of her. Start digging in our emails, start doing what you have to find something for us to just end this relationship. Which is what has been going on. She effectively, look, she is on authorized, or basically on leave, indefinitely from Lucasfilm forever. And the only thing she retains is her title as president. And what they're trying to do is evict her from that office, period. And if this person right here does what I suspect she'll do, which is do what she did to Harvey and throw Kennedy under the bus, I think that she will be dislodged. She will be evicted totally from the president's office of Lucasfilm. But I have to say, after looking at what Office Icarus said, I don't believe that it's an enabling issue by keeping her around because of that morals clause in her contract. It's because right now they're stuck, and which is, I look at Iger and said, didn't anybody tell you this was in there? Didn't anybody say that you can't just fire her for cause because it's not in her contract? Until now, you know, that's my problem with Iger right now, is that he should not have made this deal with her to begin with. He should have said, no, we need to be able to do what we need to be able to do should you fail at your job. Well, look at Indy 5. She failed at her job. Okay. And the fact that I think the biggest blockbuster of the summer is going to be Barbie has got to sting and chaff Disney's ass right now. And the reason why is because that should have been Indy 5. That really should have been Indy 5. But because of all the shit that's gone down, and the fact that, and look, Iger is the one who didn't embargo the reviews, all right? So people who wanted to see the movie knew what it was going to be about. Okay, we all saw what it was going to be about. And, you know, there are people out there that, they're, again, Cameron, it kind of use the analogy of the military-industrial complex. They need Kennedy there to prop up their channels. Okay. All right. Just like the neocons and the neoliberals need Putin, need for us to believe Putin is a bad guy to prop up their power base. Okay. And because, they've got themselves hooked into globalist money, and Putin stands in their way. And it's the same thing with Kennedy, because she is one of the reasons why they've been so successful with their channels. Now, going back to what Disney can do, because an extension doesn't show exactly burning faith in her, and it doesn't, in my opinion. What I am thinking about is they basically say Kathy's on an extended leave, and in her absence, Jon Favreau is acting president of Lucasfilm, or, Kojak the dog, or, Stephanie Janisek or whoever, and that is the way it's going to be till she's gone. Okay, so her name might be on something, but she's not allowed anywhere near anything. And that is what we've heard. Okay, she's not allowed on Lucasfilm property without an escort. She cannot access email. She's been suspended from email. And she's basically been isolated and pushed aside while they're trying to get the transition moving along. And again, I'm going to reiterate, when the Nazgul told the people at Lucasfilm during last week's meetings that, yes, Kathy isn't around. No, she's nothing. We don't worry about her. And you'll find out when it's announced. Okay, so that tells me Kennedy is out, and they're just trying to put something together because look, I'm being very honest. Bob Iger wants to burn her to the ground, which is probably why they're doing this. And because she's got that stupid morals clause, there you go. And, I've been told they're trying to avoid, the outrage media coming after them with, complaints of sexism and stuff. Bullshit is all I can say. And if that's everything that's going on, then I say, okay, fine, now I understand. But if they put a statement, a public statement out there that she's on leave, indefinite leave, and make up a reason, who cares? And basically say that whoever's in charge, the president of Lucasfilm, then, hey, okay, then you take a narrative away from her allies and the black pill blobs and the black pills. Okay, it is very interesting to me watching this go forward, because again, lots of things are going on that are being revealed that I didn't know, like a renegotiated brand new contract is different than a renewal. Okay, or different than an extension. Okay, I mean, it says a lot. That says that they're looking for her to leave. This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.